Hey, so I'm back. Decided to pull the red toy out of the back of the garage here, and she's looking pretty gummy, but she's been sitting all winter. And like I say before, she's been sitting for most of a year and a half, 2 years. Only been run very minimal amount of time. She's in pretty rough shape from sitting around. Picked up a new dent in the side and looking pretty scummy, and just needs to be cleaned up and gone through and gotten ready here. Seems we're in the foothills of spring. It'll be pretty soon we need to be driving it. So we'll take a quick peek, see what she looks like, and get her washed up and start tearing into it. Oh, she's looking a little cruddy here. Quite a lot of dirt and sawdust and everything else from sitting all winter. Pretty beat up mess this is. She looking pretty horribly shitty. I think it's probably the worst this car's ever looked. See, inside it's all full of cleaners and cleaning supplies and gloves and car parts and all sorts of stuff. Luckily it's all just utility stuff and not trash or anything like that. But picked up a new dent right there. And I gotta clean the headlights, do a little bit of front bumper work. I got a splitter that's gotta go on there. And stuff. And the other big thing it's got going on with it is front tire on the inside here is pretty well spanked. And if you look right there, it's starting to come apart right in there. So a few little bit out of alignment from when I put the E-Bach or I-Bach or however you say it, their drop kit in it. I never aligned it because I didn't think it dropped it far enough to bother it, but apparently I was wrong. So if you don't know, now you know. And go through this thing, get it cleaned up here and detailed and get ready for the fluid changes and get it all ready to rock if she wants to fire up. So I'm gonna attempt to get this thing running and get it washed, and we'll be back. Okay, so she is out, and yeah, it's out there ready to go. And today's flavor will be, we'll be testing this. I think it was $4.97 bottle of car wash. It's supposed to be a high foam formula, and I guess it helps stop spots and streaks for a stunning shine. Who knows about a car that's been sitting like this thing has, but I'm gonna give her a quick hose down, get some of the loose crap off it, and from there I will give it a brush wash, and then finally I'll give it a sponge bath just to make sure that I get some of the crap I can't get with the brush, and go from there. Well, there it is. Actually, it cleaned up fairly easily considering I took the time. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years ago, I really put the buffer right to it and cleaned it all up and everything else, and the water seems to bead right up off of it pretty good still, but it still has some issues need to be addressed. Clear coat was peeling on the wing, and if you know anything about these cars, you know it's fairly common for that to happen, or the wing to come off them, or the hood scoops come out of the hood. But for the most part, it's come out pretty clean. That trunk lid looks like hell. I'll have to take care of that, but it took me a little while to get back to the video because I washed the wife's trail boss, so that's all clean now. All stuff didn't do too bad on the body, but does a horrible job on the windows. Very bad job on the windows. use that stuff, plan on wiping it down with a glass cleaner, I guess. But I'll be back in a few minutes. Gonna see what I do about wiping some of this water down and then get into the wax. Alrighty, so it's wiped down, and you know, this light's kind of hard to see. You can't really tell how truly crappy this paint is from sitting around. Our last house, we didn't have a garage, so I had to pull it out in the summer and move it around the house and just kind of randomly wash it off during the summer to keep the crap off of it, so I can keep it under a car cover without the built up crap underneath the car cover. And so I'm gonna try some on this car. This here is some stuff my dad recommended here. This is just a pre-cleaner, but this is what we're gonna run on this car and see what it amounts to. Probably do, I don't know, half the hood to start and go from there and see how it does. Okay, so the instructions to this pre-cleaner say to apply with a high fiber cloth or soft towel or whatever, and buff it in and allow it to dry to a haze, and then to buff it off with another high fiber cloth and do such until the oxidation's gone. I forgot all about that part because I haven't used this in a couple of years, so probably got enough to get the hood started anyway, and then that'll be enough to at least show on the video what's going on with the paint on this thing. I'll probably try doing from right behind the hood scoop here up and do a small square, and then I'll do down here and over here and then up on the other side later. See, this stuff's got I don't know if you really see it on the camera so much, it's looking wet, but it's got like almost like a brown color to it. It's pretty milky and brown. Pretty gross looking stuff, but if it does the job, it does the job. As you can see, right in that area, right above behind my finger here, it's already dried to a haze, so I can take another cloth and wipe it off. So I'll take another high fiber cloth here, or shop towel, or whatever you want to call it, and remove that stuff. we'll do this one more time just to make sure it's clean and good to go. Probably gonna have to get more of this stuff because this car's pretty cruddy. Didn't go so thick the second time around. Like I say, I just wanted to make sure I got everything in that area around the edges of the hood and stuff like that where it meets the fender, and down here around the hood scoop there and stuff, just to make sure, give it a quick thin layer just to make sure I got what I needed. This ain't gonna be a professional job because obviously I'm just doing it real quick for the video, and I'll come back, touch it up, and do the whole car once I get some more of those rags. And like I say, I might have to order another bottle, but car's not drivable right now. It's got a frozen front caliper. It's coming in. I ordered the parts for it. They're coming in the end of the week, so for the time being, it's not ready to drive, and I'm not really worried about it. So move on to the next step here. Give me just a second, I gotta go get it. Yeah, this here, you're supposed to use a rough rag too, but I'm just gonna do it with a soft one, give you an idea how this stuff works. I don't think it'll really bother it. That pre-cleaner did a hell of a job on there, so I'll come back and do this again later when I get a chance to, or maybe I'll use cleaner one of those two rags to put this on. I'll just take it off with a buff rag. It's just to shake well, and this here you have to do in a straight back and forth movement instead of buffing it on. You go straight back and forth, and it says to use sparingly. So, there we go. Wipe that off. And See what it does. That's the front of that container. She's an old school unit that I don't see in stores anymore. But we'll see what she does. I'll let that dry and see what it does. Went a lot smoother than it was, but it's gonna take some work, obviously. Cleaned it up pretty good, but like I say, it's gonna take some work. I'll take a couple coats of that stuff. Take care of it, but I ordered this stuff online. A couple of years back, and I've had it taken around for a while. Been wanting to do the car, but I had nowhere to do it, and I did a couple small sections of the car, so I get an idea how it works. I just don't have the supplies because I forgot, and I didn't take time to read the bottles because the car's been sitting behind stuff where I couldn't get it. So I'm gonna have to get the proper stuff to apply it with, a high cotton towel or coarse cotton cloth, or a what was the other one there? Set that bottle somewhere. Oh, on the front of the car. Good. Or a Turkish shell was the other one they suggested. But, so yeah, this will be step one to getting this thing going and stuff, and I got a lot of cleaning to do on the inside, and like I say, the front bumper's gotta come off so I can do the front lip. I actually have inside the car right now. split disc going underneath it. It's good size. Get the holes my thumb is there, and over here to clear the factory mounting brackets, but she got a couple pre-drilled holes around it too for the mounting points and whatnot. But she's got the common problem in these cars where they like to rub. Even when you're careful, they rub and wear down the front bumper and everything, and cause them to start to split. So I'm gonna put that on there, and I'm gonna make a flat plate bracket to go above and below with bolts through it to help suck that in, hold it together. So when I put that lip on there, everything's already together, and it just helps reinforce it. So yeah, that's that, and we'll call this part 1, and I'll be back when I'm ready to do the next part. Probably gonna do take care of the headlights because they're pretty fogged if you look. You see it's pretty hazy there. Doesn't really show in the video, but pretty hazy, and same for that side there is pretty hazy too. So I get to work on that, and like I say, I gotta go store and get some more of those cloths, I guess, and whatnot, and parts coming in for it. It's got a little dent in the driver's side. I got those hammers and dollies and all that fun stuff there somewhere, and dig out and try and tap that out of it a little bit, and save me a little bit of money. I don't really want to have to replace body parts if I don't have to. Like, try and keep her original. She's long story short, she's the first thing I bought after I got divorced from my ex-wife, and actually owned and paid off. So she holds a soft spot, and tend to like to keep it around. And it's actually a car I was driving when I met my current wife. So it's very special to me. So we're gonna do a bunch of crap to it and go through it and see what we can do to make this thing a little better. Everybody have a good night.